Picture a quiet morning on the coast of Anglo-Saxon England, 793 AD. Monks on Lindisfarne pray as the sea lies calm until longships appear, dragon heads snarling at their prows. These are not traders, but something terrifying. Vikings. England then was a patchwork of kingdoms: Northumbria, Mercia, Wessex, East Anglia ruled by Anglo-Saxon kings, their world shaped by faith and farming. They believed the sea and God protected them, but had no army to defend the coast. The Vikings, Scandinavians from Denmark, Norway and Sweden, were farmers, traders and master shipbuilders. Their homelands were harsh, farmland scarce and power held by chieftains. Ambitious young men sought wealth and glory across the sea. England, rich and divided, was the perfect target. The Vikings were not mindless barbarians, they had a complex society, worshipped gods like Odin and Thor, and crafted beautiful objects. Their longships, technological marvels, could cross oceans and sail up rivers, giving them unmatched mobility. They struck, suddenly vanishing before anyone could respond. To the Anglo-Saxons, these ships seemed like monsters from the deep, carrying warriors with godless fury. This was the moment everything changed. The old world of England was about to be swept away. The Viking Age had begun. The dragon heads on the horizon were a warning nothing would ever be the same. The storm was here. England would never be the same. The raid on Lindisfarne shocked the Christian world. Vikings stormed the monastery, slaughtered monks, looted treasures and burned sacred buildings. This was more than violence. It was sacrilege. The Vikings returned each summer, targeting monasteries for their wealth and lack of defenses. Their hit-and-run tactics left devastation in their wake. They sought silver, gold, slaves, and fame. In Viking culture, glory in battle meant immortality in sagas. Attacking Lindisfarne was about making a name as much as taking loot. By the mid-9th century, the raids escalated. In 865, the great heathen army arrived, not to raid, but to conquer. Led by figures like Ivar the Boneless, they captured York and swept through the land. The age of raids ended. The age of conquest began. Anglo-Saxon kingdoms fell one by one. The Vikings were no longer ghosts. They were occupiers. England faced its greatest threat. The struggle for survival had begun. The fury of the Northmen would reshape the land. The great heathen army shattered Northumbria, East Anglia and Mercia. Only Wessex, led by King Alfred, stood defiant. Alfred was scholarly and devout, but also a determined warrior. He suffered defeats, even hiding in the marshes after a surprise Viking attack. Yet Alfred rallied his followers, rebuilt his army and struck back. In 878 at Edington, Alfred's shield wall held firm. He won a decisive victory, saving Wessex and the idea of England. Alfred forced the Viking leader Guthrum to accept baptism and sign a treaty. England was divided, the Danelaw in the north and east, Wessex in the south and west. Alfred began reforms, building fortified towns, burhs, reorganizing the army and creating a navy. He laid the foundations for a unified kingdom. The fight was not just for land, but for identity. Alfred's resilience inspired generations. The Anglo-Saxons would not be swept away. The dream of England endured. The tide was turning, the struggle for unity had begun. Alfred's legacy would shape the future. England was fighting back. Alfred's vision went beyond war. He revived learning, translating books into English and promoting education. His children and grandchildren, Edward the Elder and Ethelflaed, pushed north, reclaiming land from the Vikings. They built new burhs, securing territory and uniting the land. The struggle spanned generations. Alfred's grandson Athelstan achieved final victory at Brunanburh in 937. For the first time, England was united under one king. The Viking invasions forced the Anglo-Saxons to innovate and unite. A stronger, more resilient kingdom emerged. England was forged in the fire of war. The nation was born from conflict. The Viking story didn't end with conquest. Vikings settled in the Danelaw, marrying locals and blending cultures. Place names like Grimsby and Derby and words like sky, leg and window are Viking legacies. The English language absorbed hundreds of Norse words. The fierce invaders became part of English life. The Viking Age was brutal but also creative and transformative. It forced the birth of a nation and enriched its culture. The Vikings are woven into England's landscape, language and identity. Their echo remains all around us. The dragon ships may be gone, but their legacy endures.